Hello, my name's Ian.
My name's Lauren.
And we are Bars and Bells on YouTube. Thank you for joining us this evening to Bar Night in our studio on YouTube Live and then in the archive. Tonight's practice is a follow-along session. Yes, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for following along. And tonight's practice again will be in a ballet-inspired bar session, hollow holds for core, foot articulations for strength and balance, and working on beautiful things, soft things, perhaps like our debras as well. So thank you for joining. Without too much more delay, we'll get started with our feet.
That was my biggest performance of my life.
With our feet, starting in parallel, together. Pull a foot off the floor. Press the front of the foot into the floor. That the heel comes up to point. Step through the toes against the tip of the toe, and then do the flex over on the toes if that's available for you. And back to the toes. Push, pull, tension, pull that heel back down. Repeat the other side. Pull the heel up, knee forward. Point through the toes, and flex or point over at the end. Back to all the toes, press through the arch, return the heel to the floor. We'll take one quick look at the front here again one last time. Press to the ball of the foot, look at it. Where is that middle ankle bone shape? Hug the center line as much as you can, and point and flex to the toes and back to a full foot. And repeat one more time on the other side. Take a moment. Where is it at? Yeah, fighting for that midline. Point, flex, toes, and heel down. From that position, we'll open up into the first, spinning on those heels to get that true turnout from the hips. Heels touching or just touching together, there we go. And the same thing through the feet. Demi point, full point, flex over on the toes, keeping that ankle pushing forward, and back together.
I find it in this position so much harder.
The turnout here for Lauren is hard. It's hard for most people. And pull back down. And for one more time, same thing. Ankle, toe, flex over, back. We're keeping those hips extended forward here as well, making sure that we don't drop the hip out to the side. Point, flex, and down. Repeat the same thing in that second position. Cramp up glutes, straighten knees, hands on hips is appropriate for us here. And press yourself one way by pushing the other. And then can we finish with the toes for 5 in a row, 6 in a row. Push through the arch. Finish that nice toe point here for the last one. Pull that foot down, pull the heel down, push through this foot to go that way. Pull the foot down, push up. And again, the toes. Finishing with those toes, straight knees. They're going to want to flex. Let's go 2 more times. 1,
like my big toe is doing all
2,
the work.
And then back to 2 feet. Let's just hang out in the middle of a squat for a second. Cueing that squat to that second position plie here for Lauren. She's going to stay as a piece of toast between those toes in the toaster slot there, making sure her bum doesn't touch. So pattern your plie or your squat here, conditioning that our upper body stays upright. And again, we're looking for that pentagon shape underneath the hips here, and then back up to tall.
A pentagon.
Pentagon! I think that means a 5-sided shape.
It does. 5.
5. Find that 5-sided shape for one more time. Pulling tension into the floor to spread those knees, hang out, shift some weight, play with that. We'll come back to those plie sets in a moment. Straighten knees. That fondu action could be a point and then a pull together. And a good wiggle every now and then is great too. From warming up the feet like that, let's start warming up those hands. We won't spend too much time there, but transition to the floor in the forward fold. So if Lauren would do the quarter turn, just to sit in front ahead of me here. Starting with our forward fold, we're not going to hinge on the hip. We're flexing the spine, starting with the chin, tucking, flexing, pulling through the rib cage to a folded position. From a folded position, walk out on these hands, nice and controlled, Mike. Use the nice animalistic nature of that. And then come on down to the floor for a quick one. And I'll join you.
Oh.
So I'll join you here. So if we could just take a quick moment and look at our head.
Okay.
Quick moment to look at our head. So gently straighten a leg and point a toe. You can get on your back too.
I know, I'm just adding. Your head's not in the picture.
I'm not in the picture.
Your head isn't.
How about that?
This is good.
Okay. So what I want us to focus on again here is happening up in the head. If we looked at our ankle and we just waved our ankle back and forth, great. That's great to do. Can we do that similar action but have it being done from up in the hip? And I do find that pointed foot is challenging and makes it strict as well. So for a couple in a row, can we explore that internal rotation, which I'm showing here as I'm hiding my pants seam, and then showing you that inseam would be an external rotation in my hip. Repeat for one or two more. Internal rotation with your knee staying straight, and then the turn out. The turn in, keep the knee straight, the turn out. Return it to a neutral place or kneecap facing. This way, bend the knee, return it to the floor. Repeat on the other side. Support the leg a little to start, straighten out the knee, make a specific ankle movement, okay? Ankles wave high-by, ankles ankles agree or disagree. And then if we could, we'll finish in the point, extend through the knee, and in the hip socket again, it's that external rotation of the turnout we always hear in ballet, and then that internal rotation on the hip. Personally, I have a lot more of that external rotation than I do of the internal rotation. Lauren is the opposite. And then last one. Return to center, flex the knee, and then we'll do a quick little wrist warm up. So, when we're doing the hip bars that we will be performing in a moment here, think of that rotation to help us turn those corners and get into nice strong positions. And you're right.
This isn't quite right. That could be like that for this practice. Okay.
We're gonna have to stand. And I'm really tired.
So, trying to get rid of that word too. But here we are on all fours. We have our fingertips wide open. We're going to screw in the wrists so that the blood donations face forward and those armpits are shrugged down. First level push-up, like the toe raise, is to get onto those first knuckles. And from there, I want us to slowly lower ourselves, keeping the elbows straight, let the hands grip onto the floor as you return down. We'll repeat for two more of those. Won't spend too much time today, but again, for our presses or push-ups, and then our transitions up and down, it's important to pay attention to those hands. Last one, first knuckle push-up, and down. Come to a tall kneel position, give the hands a little wiggle. Final movement for the wrists here. Have them face your fingertips, face your knees. Place the hands on the floor. And then same idea here of pulling the shoulders out of the ears to avoid a shrug. Grip the fingertips to the floor. And send some energy to the left or the right, or the front or the back. Keep the hands heavy and share the load over the whole hand as possible. And for 5 more seconds here. That'll be the end of this specific wrist warm-up. So not too in-depth. Pay attention to small bits like your feet and your wrists in your practice. So that's that. I'm going to peel those up nice and controlled. We'll play with one quick version of squat. Let's progress into our toe squat here. If we can get a comfortable position with our buttocks sitting on our heels.
Our buttocks.
Sitting up nice and tall. Put your hands on your bum. I'm going to squeeze my left bum cheek. Squeeze your left bum cheek. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. Squeeze your right bum cheek. Is it working?
Yeah.
Squeeze both. And you're not squeezing with your hands, you're squeezing with your bum.
I'm just feeling
Okay,
it.
just to confirm. So same thing. Crank up those glutes, extend those hips to this tall kneel. At this point, can we tuck our toes under, either hinging as I am here, using the floor, press yourself to this toe squats position, and from here, we'll stand up. Repeat that for 2 more times here as we slowly go down into our toe squat. Extending the hips as our knees touch this floor. Cramping up, flattening the toes, and sitting back. Cramp up the glutes and the hip extension, tucking the toes, hinging, transitioning that leg back, toe squat to stand, and repeat one more time. Nice and control in our toe squat, extending those hips as we reach the floor, cramp up to a tall kneel, flatten, and down. While we're back down here, we'll go over the standards for our hollow holds. We'll ask Lauren here to get on her back, facing sideways the way that you are.
No thanks.
No? I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So we're going to start a nice quick 30 seconds or so variation here for our hollow hold, starting with one of the easier versions first. So Lauren actually just put her feet on the floor. Hands are in a gorgeous position there. Right where they are there or at the sides is appropriate. From here, I would like Lauren to first connect the rib cage to the hips. So she's going to push her sternum or her heart here towards the ceiling, connecting that rib cage to hips. That's connection number one we want to make. If we can hold that confidently for 5 more seconds, continue. Stay or add on. The add-on would be flexing the hips, meaning pulling the knees towards the face. Can you still breathe? Can you maintain that tension? Lauren's still looking strong. So a nice progression for her here could be a single leg, one at a time, extend, meaning straighten your knee and the hip, and then bring it in the center. Repeat on the other side, and repeat maybe one more time, and finish with tension and control. Feel tension on this front or anterior chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, done. So we're going to feel that nice tension on the front of the body, making sure we don't feel vulnerable or susceptible to that back injury. But that should be a nice, strong, hollow core move. From here, there's a million ways to get up. Lauren here will pattern the get up, one of the ways that we like to get up here. Follow her shape. She has one hand up to the ceiling, one hand on the floor. We're going to extend the hip, so cramp up a glute and push. That's an elbow. So from the elbow, we'll get to the tall sit. Tall sit, squishing the butt, pulling the shoulders back. Then we'll bridge away from the floor. We'll sweep underneath. We'll get ourselves to a tall lunge position through here. Square up everything, make it nice and tense, embrace, and high yup. And I think Lauren's legs are feeling that last exercise session we just did a second ago.
What?
I thought they looked wobbly. They sounded wobbly, they didn't look wobbly. That's our hollow hold.
Hollow holds.
From here, I'd like us to get to our bars, and we'll do our low and then our high hip bars. Hip internal and external rotation at the warm up on the floor. Think of placing that lesson in this drill. I'm tall on my inside leg, cramping it up, gripping the floor, pointing the other leg forward. I'll do that external rotation to help me get around the corner, and my leg here is going to try to reach and touch for Lauren. Then I'm going to hide that inseam with that internal rotation as I reach to the back, pulling to center, flexing over the toes to underneath my foot, my hips here. Same thing in reverse directions, extending through the knee, so no knee bends here. Point, it's the external rotation or turning my inseam forward to reach towards Lauren's leg over there. And then I'll reach to the front and close. We'll do the same thing. The extension of that task is to do it slightly off of the floor. Low, level hips with control. Repeat one more. To the front. And flexing the hip, lifting off the floor as allowed. That external rotation helps us reach out of that hip and get around the corner. And around that internal rotation as we reach around to the back then. Hugging the center line, flexing over toes, pulling underneath. Repeat in reverse for one more. Extend the hip. Externally rotate up off the floor, pull off the floor if we're allowed to do so. And nice and slow, continue the pull to center in the front. Tap and pull down. You switch sides at home. Use a chair. Use a stool. Use a bar. Use something for balance. Talk to the hip and the control that we can get from this exercise here. Tall and inside leg. Pointing to forward. Yep, externally rotating. You're right. Opening up in that hip as you reach out to the side. Then we'll turn the inseam down as we turn the corner to roll out the back, pulling over the foot as we get the feet underneath the hips. Repeat to the back, tight to that center line to the rear, pointing the toe, externally rotating in that hip, opening, opening, pulling to that center line, and returning underneath. Repeat one more time. The low is appropriate, the high is challenging, to the front. Off with the external rotation, reaching out of the hip socket nice and tall in this inside leg, internally rotating, turning the corner, pulling to center, over the toes, and back. And final one to the reverse direction or the extension first. Lift off the floor, tucking under those hips. Lift from the glute here, talk to that side butt musculature. We're lifting over a hurdle at the side gently, to the front, to the tap, to the pull under. And then I think it's going to be my turn to execute the forward fold to movements there.
Starting with
So
the
here we
forward
go.
fold.
So I'll start with my forward fold here.
Like Ian talked about the last time, start at the top. Chin tucks, head gently, head neck rolls down. Every vertebrae bending on your way down. Slight bend in the knees if you need to, but try to keep them straight. Walk yourself out. Maybe to your push-up position where you do a nice slow push-up down. We're doing another hollow hold, right?
Yeah.
Flipping over on your back. All right, you know the beginning ones now, so the same as last time. First, connect ribs and hips. Great, stay there. Option 1. Option 2, lift those knees towards your chest, making it a little harder. Option 3, start your extension opposite, or one leg at a time. And then option 4, you could extend both legs and hold them there for another 10 seconds. Tight core, tight legs together. Keep them tight. Couldn't move you for 5, 4, 3, 2, easy down with control. Great. Are you gonna get up?
We'll do the get up.
The get up, the get up. So, toss Ian a kettlebell. He has it. He's gonna use that hip extension. Push, roll, pull on elbow. Hand finds floor. Lift, sweep. Knee comes all the way under you to land on the floor. Hand leaves floor. Front foot moves. Square up your lunge. Both legs. Hippity hop. He's feeling that workout.
I'm feeling those lunges from before. That is a full true story. Working with some of those softer skills of strength too, we like to integrate our interpretation or our exploration of our port de bras to soft skills. Like our press, the shoulder blades stay low. Like our press, the lats are engaged. Talk to this under armpit musculature and explore a little bit of grace in our port de bras here. On or away from the bar, I'll stand in my first position. Go away from the bar so you can use both arms at the same time. Both arms at the same time. We'll start in our first or bra position down low and reach your arms out to second or the side. And then down. And then we'll reach out front, as in that arabesque position, and then down. And then out to the side and incorporate some head movements if we wish as well. And just look at the hand. So I'm going to look at my left hand here, and I'm going to go to the front, and I'm going to look at my right. And I'm going to reach and send energy to you out there, and then bring it down. I'm going to stay looking at my right as I reach out to the side. And then down. I'm going to look at my left one more time as we go out to the front. Finish with some energy through the fingers. And then down. I'll just play with that a little bit as we go through. But again, those nice soft movement skills are important as much as Lawrence hard ones. We are now going into our first, second, and fourth position plies. We talked about first position, okay? Second position, great. Fourth position, anywhere between your heels, being about a foot in front of you. Don't worry about your overcross. Don't worry about having to be over here. Heels side by side, but just slightly out front is a very acceptable place to start to work on our fourth position for our plie. So return to the bar. feet in parallel to start, and here I go to turn out to first. For my first set of plies, we're looking for a diamond shape now between the knees, the hips, and the groin. Push your feet out into the floor, spread those knees, and like Lawrence Strong again, keep those hips tucked under. Pull the legs back together. Repeat again, feet stay heavy, knees send wide, and we're in our diamond shape or our plie, and extend back to tall. Repeat, get as low as you safely can. Get lower by pushing down, and the heels might come up as a consequence here. Let's just hang out down here for 4, hands or no hands, 3, 2, heels down first, and pull the knees back together. From this position, pointer tendu out to your second, land in second. Same thing, heavy through the feet, gripping through the toes, as we pull ourselves to our second position, and then back up to tall. Repeat. Pull yourself to second, pull yourself to tall. Repeat, hang out in the low, gently up on toes if we could, pushing these ankle bones forward, hanging out, heels heavy, and pull the legs back together.
That's where I feel it.
The straight leg, straighten and point, rond it out to the front, and check out that position and make sure you're happy. Do a little wiggle if you need to here. And from one more time here from fourth, our plies. Feet stay heavy to the last one. Spread knees, and I'm on 2 feet here. Cramp up to tall. Spread knees. I'm heavy on 2 feet, and I cramp up to tall. And for my last one, I'll spread. I'll lift those heels by pressing down. Let's hang out here for 3, 2, heavy through the heels, straighten through the knees, point, and just close it back underneath the center. That's a lot of work, I think. Shake it out.
What about the other 4th?
We're gonna switch sides.
Oh, right, I faced the bar.
We're gonna do the whole thing again.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So here I am again in my first position, by spinning on those heels, and repeating full foot, toe balance plie, repeating in first, second,
demi-grand.
Demi-grand. Repeat, here we go. Pulling yourself down to that low diamond,
Tuck your hips
beautiful
under.
plie, tuck under those hips, and
Plie
cramp those knees to straight.
and stretch.
Repeat, pull those knees apart, like a slice of toast there, nice and upright, back up to tall. Repeat, pulling yourself low, pushing your feet heavier in the floor, contributing the ankle pop off there, and then from here, heavy through the feet, straighten through the knees. Tendu point to that second position. Repeat for 3 repetitions. Pull yourself low, hips level, cramp up to tall. Pull yourself to level, cramp up to tall. Repeat, pull to low, push down, heels pop, pushing these ankle bones forward for 3, 2, control heels down, press through the legs. Perhaps grab a bar, point, rond, place. Get right. Making sure again that my hips here are facing forward. I'm on my both feet here. Repeat, one last set of plies from fourth. Heavy through the knees, heavy through the feet to tall. Spreading through to tall. Repeat one last time. Full. Lower by pushing down. Popping up heels for 3, 2. Heavy through the heels. Back to straight. Point. Underneath. Whew. And again, excuse me, the wiggle. Rock, paper for the hollow hold.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, I did it this new school way.
The new school way, I know.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I win.
Darn it.
You do your
I mean, yes.
forward fold.
I get more core strength.
Gently tuck your chin, roll yourself down. Tell us, how would you play rock, paper, scissors? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot? Or rock, paper, scissors.
And throw.
Slow down. Slow descent. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was a
All
little
the way
faster
down.
than 5.
Parallel, or sorry, hollow hold again. Kick your poison. Arms up, legs up. Connect ribs and hips. Hold. 20 seconds tight. Go. No moving anything. Low back is tightish to the floor. We're only feeling the front of our core. We're not feeling that low back arch. Keep it tight. 10 more seconds. Legs together. Nice pointed toes. You're a ballerina. 4, 3, 2. With control. Soft down. Push up. Tuck hips. Set shoulders. 1 unit leaves the floor. Inchworm back up, hands walk towards your feet, and then unfold or just stand up quickly.
There we go. Okay, a couple more exercises to get through here tonight. Jane fondus. I just like saying that word.
Oh,
Like
I love
follow.
fondue.
I love the fondue. I love the ankle, the Achilles stretch we can get from this.
Really just like
And really, I just like Jane fondue. Jane fondue. Here we go. So with our feet in parallel this time. Press your knees towards over your toes. Great. Does that feel safe and okay? We can do everything on 2 feet, but we will be going forward on a single foot exercise for the next part of this drill. Stand up. Take a single foot, pull it up the leg, and latch onto that ankle knuckle down there. From here, same thing. I'm going to put my hands on my hips, place my knee or push my knee forward, cramp up to a tall stand, and try to find a strong balance, and return to the floor. Repeat. Pull this elevated leg to center, cramping up as we flex the knee, straighten the knee, and again, transfer weight, and own a balance, and the down. And for one more time, the knee forward, knee straight, cramp it up, cramp up that standing leg glute, balance, slow down, and return to the floor. Switch feet. Shake in the middle is appropriate too.
I'm wobbly. I'm going to use the bar a little bit.
So again, keep this center leg or this elevated leg here to center. Try to avoid that daylight or that shape out to the side, unless we truly are out to the side. Latch on, flexing the knee over the toe, cramp up to tall, and balance. My calf feels worked on that side. And slow down. And repeat. Knee over toe. Cramp up the glutes. Extending onto those toes. Keeping the ribs and hips connected in. That's why we do hollow holds and slow low. I need to regain my composure here one more time. Knee over the toe. To straight. Up, and then slow down, and then relax that out. Excellent. Here we go. Darn it, I think I'd win, or at
I
least
like your
learn.
pants.
Or at
Forward
least learn.
fold, roll yourself down.
Flexing,
Rolling
yes.
yourself down. Legs stay straight. Walk yourself out. Slow descent to the
So I gotta make
floor.
up that slow fast push up the last time.
Slow descent down, keeping your head in line. Once you're down, flip over on your back. Revisiting our hollow hold. Arms up, legs
Last
up.
hollow hold of the day.
Connect ribs and hips. Good, set, hold. That means we should do it for 30 seconds. It's the last one. All right, check
As
in.
long as you can do it, someone can do
Check
it.
in. Stop talking. You should be breathing. Well, you should be able to talk too. Checking in with that low back. Making sure abs are taking all that tension and work for another 8 seconds. Keeping that connection. If you need to, rest. 5, 4, 3, control down. Flip back over, push up and forward, fold back
Those are the
up.
sweat tap makers right there.
Yeah. Look. Inchworm.
Inchworm
Take
up.
your time on your up, or just stand up like you did last time.
Maybe we'll have to do that one more time so I can learn. We'll come back to that port de bras for one last port de bras here tonight, and we'll finish off with one more exercise for those legs. Port de bras, we'll start in that first position, arms again. First position, feet, why not, Ian? That's a better idea. And again, look to the side, pick an arm as it goes out. Looking at it, sending energy through the fingers. And return to the first. Look at the opposite hand as it goes out front and finish with that energy through the fingertips. And then the other hand, stay with the same hand as it reaches out to the side.
Well, that's okay, I get it.
And then the other hand here as it goes out. And one more time with each here. Out to the side. Just keeping the shoulder blades low in control, out to the front. Looking. Same hand.
That was, you said once more.
Well, one more each side, I think. And then last time out front again. Truthfully, the port de bras is probably the thing I'm teaching.
Super awkward.
It feels awkward, and that's why I like doing it. It's something that I'm not instinctively great at, and it's been a lot of work to try to feel the pace and the softness there. So it's definitely a challenge. So thank you for being along for that challenge, that exploration for us as well. Our last move here, can I put on the spot because you do it so well?
Yeah.
The sumo slide or the second to second.
You just want to see my legs quiver.
Our last exercise here for tonight, and then we'll pack it up into the presses and plies on Saturday morning.
Stand in parallel. Pivot open.
Just a little bit. Yeah, great.
Pivot to your first position. Take your fondu, so point your foot. Just touch. Place your toe down. Place your big toe mound down. Place the rest of your foot down. You're in your second there. Sorry, you're not supposed to adjust, but I did. Knee pushes over toe. So sit down into that second position, squat first, or plie. Knee pushes over toe, the other leg goes straight and thinks about lifting off the floor. Just think about it. Put that toe down, ball of foot through the foot, stay low, push over the other side. Try to transfer weight, think about what that would feel like. Put the foot down, ball of foot through the foot, stay low, slide. Knee over toe or fondu. Point the other foot, take it off the floor a centimeter, straighten your leg. Back to fondu. Toe, big toe mound through the foot, stay low, fondu other side. Point, lift, extend, bend, touch, slide through, added bonus, fondu, point, transfer weight, extend, roll up. Pull yourself up to a balance for 3, 2, control descent, fondu or knee bend, point through that foot, absorb the floor, last time other side, point, transfer, straighten, roll up, hold, 3, 2, control the down, foot bend knee, foot comes down, come to center second, tuck hips under, push out on knees, stand up tall, point, close. Shake,
And wiggle. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight at Bar Night on a Thursday, live from our studio here. And tomorrow we restore things. We go rest and restore. We go recharge and restore at 9 a.m. on a Friday. And all weekend we have a handstand workshop on Saturday and a bicycle-friendly workshop on Sunday. So lots to do, lots to stay in tune with. Thank you very much for joining us here again today.
Bars and bells.
My name is Ian.
My name is still Lauren.
It's been a great time, and we hope that you keep things simple, train with strength, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Good timing on the battery. End stream.
If we're still here, hit that like button, hit that button.
Oh, we're
down
gone
here.
now.
We're done. Very good.